Here are 7 players that could break through into Premier League first teams and shine next season. The first player is Michael Essien, and he has just been signed by Crystal Palace coming from the Championship, and as I'll repeat with quite a few players in this video, it's been proven that players coming from the Championship into the Premier League has proven to work regularly, and that's why signing Championship players is a clever thing to do for Premier League clubs. To look a bit more into the signing, I'm going to use the sponsor for this video, OneFootball, which is a brilliant app for everything surrounding football. You can go onto the profiles of any football club and see so many news articles surrounding them. So going on to Crystal Palace here, we can easily find an article about Michael Essien and his signing. Essien has said to Palace TV, "I had a conversation with the manager and he was talking about how he sees me in the team, the plans, the development and the vision for the club. It's very good, so I thought that was a good fit." And later on he also said, "I like to express myself, to have fun, I'm creative, like dribbling, and I'm just free really. Last season was my main season where I was contributing to the team and helping them in our fight." The best thing about Essie's transfer is that he cost just £8 million for Crystal Palace, a fantastic deal for a 19-year-old. And he was one of the standout performers in the Championship last season. He can play anywhere across the front line, attacking midfield or the right wing predominantly though, and he scored 7 goals and got 12 assists, 12 assists being the second most in the league. He was so good at finding the right pass with 84 key passes, that was the third most in the league, and 63 accurate crosses was the 4th highest. In the build up to making that pass, he's a very skillful player and loves one-on-one opportunities where his flair is evident, and he's joining Crystal Palace, who signed Essien last season. Essien started the season with an injury, but these two in the same team could be all kinds of entertainment. Essien took a little while to bed into the team, but we saw glimpses of what he can do with a couple great goals scored by him. But maybe Vieira will put some faith in him to shine at Crystal Palace, and maybe alongside some new signings, and the best place to keep up to date with the transfer rumours is OneFootball. The latest news, scores, transfer rumours, player stats and much more. Download OneFootball by clicking the link in the description. Next up is Aston Villa's Chukwuemeka, and he's a player that many clubs from around Europe are reported to be monitoring. The 17-year-old featured in Aston Villa's last 2 Premier League matches and looks set to be the next youth player Dean Smith brings into the first team. Aston Villa's under-23s won the Youth Cup last season, and Chukwuemeka played a huge part in that, scoring 7 goals and assisting twice in 6 matches. Now, he might not be a player to come into the first team and get a lot of minutes. Similar to Jacob Ramsey last season, he'll be subbed on most of the time in the second half to help bed into the team. But Chukwuemeka has the confidence and the quality to take the chance and show what he can do. He's a tall player and has the physique to hold off players in the Premier League as he strides forward with the ball and looks to go past them. In a Villa team which has now spent 2 seasons in the Premier League, is filled with players who have the experience at this level, are good quality players for this level, so it'll make it easier for Chukwuemeka to come into the team. He's definitely one to keep an eye on whenever he's on the pitch, as Aston Villa aim to give him minutes and keep him at the club and see off interest from elsewhere. The next player is Ahmed Diallo at Manchester United. He was signed in 2020 and then joined the club in January of this year, where he's impressed playing for the academy and has also showed great signs in the first team. He scored a backwards header for his first goal at the club and recently scored a 97th minute free kick for Ivory Coast. I'm sure he would have got more game time next season anyway, but with the absence of Marcus Rashford until the end of October, it could see Ahmed become a starter in the team for a little while. Ahmed has only just turned 19, he's going to the Olympics this summer and has been nominated for the 2021 Golden Boy Award, making him a hot prospect in the Premier League. In a team alongside players such as Fernandes, Sancho, Greenwood and Cavani, the goalscorer in the box, it could see Diallo put in some solid performances for United. He played 82 minutes in United's last league match against Wolves and had 1 key pass for a Daniel James chance, which should have been in the back of the net, 2 successful dribbles, 1 shot on target and fouled 3 times. I'm excited to see more of Ahmed. I think he could really start to shine as one of the best youngsters in the Premier League next season. Next up on the list is Liverpool's Harvey Elliott. He scored 7 goals and got 11 assists for Blackburn last season, and 11 assists was the joint 3rd most in the Championship. He's just signed a new long-term deal at Liverpool and seems to be moving towards the first team at Liverpool. He played on the right wing last season and showed his creative qualities with the 71 key passes he made. This was the 7th most in the Championship, and he's still only 18 as he comes back into the Premier League, and of course it's a step up from the Championship. However, like we said earlier, players coming from that league seem to do well when they come into the Premier League. They have Mane and Salah going to the African Cup of Nations in January, so this is the time it's more likely to see Elliott starting. As well as creating, he scored scored 7 goals with a conversion rate of 16.7%, 5 of them were left-footed and 2 right-footed. It seems well set up for him at Liverpool in an attacking side to start doing well and make a name for himself in the Premier League with some good performances, making him one to keep an eye on next season. Moses Caicedo was heavily rumoured to joining Manchester United last summer. Instead, it was Brighton who signed him, and this could be the season we see more from him. A defensive midfielder, 19 years old, Ecuadorian, and played a big part in their Copa America side this summer. He played 297 minutes in the competition for Ecuador, proving that they put a lot of faith in the youngster, and he has first-team experience at a high level. Yet to play a minute of Premier League football though, this could be the season we see it, as Basuma could potentially be leaving Brighton. We've seen Chukwuemeka join the club from RB Salzburg this summer, but as a defensive midfielder in a similar style to Basuma, I see Caicedo playing more of a part. Looking at his stats in the Copa America, his passing is what stands out, 22 passes into the final third, ranked 17th most, and his long ball completion rate is 88.9%, which is the third best in the competition. He completed 24 from 27 attempted passes over 30 yards. Brighton and Graham Potter seem to deal very well with youngsters, and I can see Caicedo being the next one to break through into the first team. The next player is Francisco Trancao. The 21-year-old was signed by Barcelona last year in August for £28 million from Braga, but now Wolves has been able to sign him on loan. This is a very exciting transfer of a player who could find a home at Wolves, settling in alongside the Portuguese players and the manager that is there, and an ex-teammate in Pedro Neto. In a similar fashion to Neto, he's a player who is very good at dribbling, will glide past players as he runs forward, and can be difficult to stop. At Barcelona last season, he was very good at progressively carrying the ball, with 9.2 progressive carries per 90. In a Wolves team consisting of Traore, Neto, Podence, Jimenez as he seems to be coming back, Fabio Silva too as the striker, it's an exciting and promising attack at the club. Trancao could come into the team and start lighting it up in the Premier League, and Wolves do have an option to buy at the end of the loan deal. 19-year-old Billy Gilmour has previously impressed in his appearances for Chelsea and was in the Scotland squad at Euro 2020. Now he's signed for Norwich City on loan, which is a great signing for them by the way, and this is his chance to consistently show what he can do in the Premier League. His composure on the ball and his passing quality is what makes him a great central midfielder for someone of his age, and should fit into the Norwich team very nicely. Working in tight spaces, receiving the ball and looking to pass forward, it suits the attacking, fast football that Daniel Farke plays at Norwich. He's not the hard tackler type of central midfielder, and Norwich will probably need that cover alongside him in the midfield. But for the on-the-ball qualities in the midfield, then Gilmour is a great player to have that can excel in this Norwich team. If you enjoyed this video, then please click the like button down below, it really helps the videos getting found, and subscribe to Route 1 for more insight and analysis as we build up to the new Premier League season.